بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome everybody. We're going to have the first presentation of the PEA, that's Professional and Educational Activities of Region 8 of IEEE. This is the first series of lectures, and I hope you will enjoy it. I would like to start by thanking PEA Region 8 for allowing this opportunity. And the real thank goes to you, the audience. I hope you're going to like the presentation. The presentation is about creativity at work. So we will give very quick ideas about different concepts about creativity, and then we will focus on the creativity at work. This is the contact information of myself and how you can register for this webinar and other webinars if you are interested. We hope that this presentation will be recorded and it's going to be posted on the PEA webpage and on the Western Saudi Arabia webpage, section webpage. We've got a small exercise to start with to warm you up. So please watch the pictures you're going to see on the next slides. You want to just get an idea about the picture. You don't have to go the details. Just get, so this is a car. So make note that you've seen a car. Make alarm, okay? That's the second shape. The third one is a camera and the sawdust and a boat and the razor blade, computer, okay, glue, airplane, paper. So these are the items which we'd like to remember. While the lecture is going on, I would like you to use these items and you come up with ideas about new products using these items. So by composing more than an item or more of what you have seen, we would like you to compose new items. In the definitions, okay, in the Quran, Allah says, بديع السماوات والأرض وإذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. In English, the originator of heavens and the earth, when he decrees a matter, he only says be and it is. This shows that the word badi' or creator in Arabic language means originator. It starts something new. It did not exist and it makes it exist. That's in the Arabic language. In the English language, if we take the Heritage Illustrated Dictionary, create means to cause to exist, bring into being, originate, to give rise to, bring about, produce. So an original product of human invention or imagination. That's the creation, that's the creative. Creative characterized by originality and expressiveness, imaginative. In another definition for create, to evolve from one's own thought or imagination, to make by investing with a new character or functions, create, author, bring into being, compose, etc. So it is, we're talking about innovative and originate. The last definition I'm going to use is the ability to produce or use original and unusual ideas. Creativity, creativeness, innovation. So being creative is seeing the same thing as everybody else, but thinking of something different. I would like to keep these ideas because they are very important in the definition of creativity and how can we use it. In the process itself, one of the best ideas I've read is by association. By association, this phrase or this word was created by Arthur Koestler, who was born, he he was born in 1905, and he was Hungarian British, and he lived in England, and he had the act of creation. So he, after analysis, detailed studies, he said the bringing together of two previously unrelated planes of thought, and you come up with a new one. Now, by using that one, by using the same pictures which I showed you in the beginning, we will come up with the following. Okay, this is the arm, and this is the razor. What they came up with this 3 razor safety shaving blade. They brought the blade and the arm, and then they came up with this 3 razor safety shaving blade. So it's a new one, 2 plane of thoughts unrelated. This is the glue and the sawdust. They came up with these boards, particle board, so wood. They created from these 2. They used the boat and the car and the plane, and they came up with the hovercraft. So they brought things which are not really related, and they came up with the new product. The same happened with the iPhone. Why iPhone was so successful? It's because it merged the camera with the computer and made them in one device. And this is how the world has changed drastically after the invention of the iPhone. Basically, it's a computer and a camera. That's at least when it started. Of course, it expanded quite a bit, but that's the main idea. The other one is paper, ordinary paper and the glue, and they came up with the poster. This is what made 3M one of the most creative companies in the world. Now, having seen that one, everybody must be very enthusiastic and wants to use it to create other things. However, I warn you that you won't be able to create some of the things which has been challenged by the Quran. وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة من مثله وادعوا شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين. These are only in Arabic is about 10 words. So some of the verses are only 10 words. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, has challenged the humanity more than 1400 years ago, and they have not been able to come up with any verse which is similar to the verses of the Quran. And this is an example. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. Nobody has been able to come up with a verse like this, despite the fact this is only 10 words. There are other examples in the Quran. The other thing is which Allah has challenged the humanity with is, O people, and an example is presented, so listen to it. Indeed, those you invoke besides Allah will never create as much as a fly, even if they gather together for that purpose. So creativity, it has its limits, and we should know that we are human, we are limited, and we can do so much. So these are some of the examples which I brought from the Quran. And again, and if the fly should steal away from them a tiny thing, they could not recover it from him. Weak are the pursuer and persuade. So these are some other examples. Now we go to some ideas about the creativity. How is the brain in the hemispheres? We've got in our brains the left-hand side and the right-hand side. The left-hand side is where the logic, evaluation, reasoning, analysis, calculation comes. On the right-hand side is the creativity, images, color, emotion, intuition, comprehension, and recognition. So that's how Allah has created our brains. So the 5 dreams are fine, but an idea is only truly innovative if the right brain produces it and the left brain endorses it. We need to make sure that we understand these concepts. Let us go from here to, we've seen the definition, we've seen the process, and seen some other concepts. Let us go to other theoretical ideas about creativity. This is basically what is Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom is educator. He was born in 1913 and died in 1999, and he came up with what is called Bloom's taxonomy, which is very important in the training and education. The original terms were to the left-hand side, and then they were changed because a lot of researchers did their work, and the right-hand side shows that one. What we're getting here is basically our knowledge starts from remembering, understanding, applying. So just remembering the things is not really a high in the level of comprehension, whatever. It's the steps goes up until analyzing and evaluating, until creating. So the top of the understanding, our understanding comes to the creating. When we use our knowledge and when we study and we experiment, the top of that is the creativity and creation. If we relate this one to the levels of creativity by Leslie Owen Wilson, she says there are 5 steps of or levels of creativity. The first one is expressive creativity. This is just spontaneous, what children can have. First level, this is very primitive, spontaneous. So it is an intuitive expression. Everybody has it, everybody uses it, and that's what it is. Productive creativity is an artistic or scientific products where there are restrictions and controlled free play. The second level of creativity is the academic and technical level. So that's the second level of creativity according to Leslie Wilson. We go to the third level is the inventive creativity, where ingenuity is displayed with materials, methods, and techniques. Many artists experiment with their craft, exploring different ways of familiar tools and mediums. This heralds the third level of creativity innovation. So we started with the first, second, third, then we come to the fourth level is innovative, where there is improvement through modification involving conceptualizing skills. At the level of innovation, the artist becomes more original. So this is way. Then the top level of creativity is the imaginative, where there is an entirely new principle or assumption around which new schools, movements, and the like can flourish. The fifth level of creativity is characterized as genius. So these are the levels. If we compare this, link it to what the Bloom taxonomy is, we can see some similarities in there, and there are relationship between these ideas, these concepts. Then we have got the T-shaped creativity. Is as we go up, creative driven, insights, big idea, concepts, and usable. So this is how the creative dimension goes. While the experience driven is useful and desirable and usable. So the link between a creative driven and experience driven goes into the usable driven. So these are some of the theoretical background of creativity. And the Ibn al-Qayyim, okay, has got an idea, or one of the concepts he put in his book Al-Fawaid. He said, دافع الخطرة. I'm going to speak it in Arabic first and then I'll translate the English. دافع الخطرة فإن لم تفعل صارت فكرة، فدافع الفكرة فإن لم تفعل صارت شهوة، فحاربها، فإن لم تفعل صارت عزيمة وهمة، فإن لم تدفعها صارت فعلا، فإن لم تتداركه بضده صار عادة فيصعب عليك الانتقال عنه. Very short and a quick thing comes to your mind. This is the translation of what I've read by Ibn al-Qayyim. By the way, you've seen the others, the Leslie and Bloom and the others, when they were born and when they died, and they talked about creativity. Ibn al-Qayyim was born in 1992 and died in 1350 in Damascus. And he said, we start usually, humans start with very short and quick things come to their mind, just like a blink in an eye. But this quick idea, if you don't push it out of your thinking, of your mind, it becomes an idea. It will become strong. And if you don't push this idea out of your thinking, then it becomes a desire or a lust. You need to fight it. If you don't, becomes determination and delusion. If you don't push it out, it becomes an action and reality. If you don't counteract this action, it becomes a habit which will be difficult to give up. Now, I tried to modify this thought given by Ibn al-Qayyim, okay, in while during his life, before 1350, as what is more than 700 years ago, 680 years ago, and I put it in this diagram. We've got a quick or short idea, then it becomes an idea. If you don't put it aside, then desire, lust, determination, action, and the habit. What I'm aiming at here is that I think with this concept, we can use it to develop creative ideas all the time. We always can think about these steps, and we focus that we use the processes by association and the other ideas we gave, and develop the creativity we have with this model. Now we will move to the topic which we're talking about, and we used it as the title of the talk. It's creativity at work. It was authored by Jeff DeGraff and Catherine Lawrence, both from Michigan University, and they have authored this book. Frankly, I think this is one of the very important textbooks in the subject. I reviewed so many other books and literature, and this seems to be an original compared to the others, and this puts creativity in perspective. What they tried to do is they brought the creativity from being an art to a science, where it is controlled and you can take steps in it. So in their books, I'm quoting here some of the parts of the book, and I'll say, they say businesses have felt the need to create new products that would succeed in the marketplace. So it is creativity. Our greatest resource in the creativity of the people with whom we live and work. Please pay attention to these, because all this will develop into models. We can no longer rely on the creativity of a few individuals, but must find ways of cultivating creativity at all levels in our communities. Creativity feeds on itself, and as more people enhance their own creativity, then in turn will influence greater number of people. What this leads to is we live in organizations, and then these organizations see or uh, they face competitive pressures. These competitive pressures, they come from employees, shifting demands, from new competitors, technological change, and customers shifting demands. So these forces force the organizations to do better and to use different topics, different ideas to compete, to face these challenges. So they have little other than creativity to as an option. Response to this, organizations today are facing wider array of competitive pressure than ever before. They must be constantly changing and innovating. That's being the creative. And this is the idea of the focus of creativity. Creativity may be innovation in the traditional sense. Okay, invention of outstanding products and services, development of a new process, development of new ways to communicate with customers, and developing new ways of attracting new challenges and training people. What I would like to focus on is on the development of new processes. This idea did not come before, and we did not see it in the definition of creativity or the other ideas which we develop. I mean, not in the definition, not in the process, not even in the theoretical concepts. This is probably the first time appears in the literature with the creativity at work by Jeff DeGraff and Catherine. So the core of all competencies of your organization become because creativity is what makes something better or new. This is where the difference is. It's not making new. If we go back to the description or to the definition of the terms, we had always the getting something new, while here is making something better is considered as creativity. Creativity is your best path to creating value. People, we all in our life working towards creating value in the business, personal, and all our our whatever we try in our life is trying to create value. A company, department, or individual can apply creativity toward producing any number of valued outcomes. The other idea, major idea within the book, the Jeff DeGraff book and Catherine, is they say there is no one size fits all approach. That's creativity. There is no one size fits all approach in the creativity. Organizations must handle each new endeavor directly selecting an approach to creativity that appropriately matches this situation. Definition of creativity. Now, this is the definition which I like most. And this is the one which I have adopted, and I think it helps organizations and individuals. The creativity is a purposeful activity or set of activities that produces valuable products, services, processes, or ideas that are better or new. So this is not only generation or bringing something new. This is product, services, or ideas that are better on you or new. Then we come to how this works. We have got the individual, then the group and organization. And out of these, we get innovation, profit, quality, knowledge, any desired results. So we are people working within organizations, and then from individual to group to organization. Uh, I'll, I'll give an example of IEEE. Individual means members. Organizations means IEEE. Group means the organizational units. PEA is one of them. That's professional education activities, and the sections are, these are considered as a group. So this is between individual and organization. So creativity has to be in all these three components. And then there are, this diagram shows that how the managing creativity and achieving the right mix. We have to have the right people, we have the right practices, we get the purpose. The purpose is, as I said, and this applies again to people, members of IEEE, practices is the sections or the other organizational units, and the purpose is IEEE and achieving. So this is how we can go with the creativity. That's one concept. And the other very important concept, which the authors of Creativity at Work came up with, is mapping creativity, the 4 profiles. Here is a very important diagram in the whole idea. What they're saying is creativity is not only one type of creativity, but there are 4 types of creativity. And they call them imagine, invest, improve, and incubate. This means that we are individual, we are creative in one of these profiles. We either have imagine profile, creativity profile, or invest, or improve, or incubate. I'll give some very quick examples on this, and I read from the diagram itself. Imagine is inventing radical products, services, and markets. This is basically what we have is the idea, our idea about creativity is most of the people, when you ask them about creativity, they give you this. As a matter of fact, that the definitions which I used, they refer to this type of creativity. Breakthrough ideas. Example, Walt Disney, the Walt Disney Company. These were original ideas, came up and they were very successful. But this is not the only creativity according to the authors of Creativity at Work. They say there's another type of creativity like invest, and they called it invest. This kind of creativity is competing through focused innovation, initiatives, hard work, and partnership. What they're saying is invest is very competitive, short-term goals. They bring the example of Thomas Watson Jr. of IBM. This guy, when he managed IBM and he was very successful with IBM, he fired his own brother because he did not meet the deadline. This kind of profile, creativity, you find it in the people who work in the market, in the investment market. They say this is where Wall Street people are. This is wherever the money and investment. These guys very competitive. They compete. They work very hard, and they their creativity is basically in the invest profile. This goes on to another third type of creativity. They say other people are also creative, like the example with McDonald's. Ray Rock, what he did is he used to be preparing food, is very creative, very kind of talent, art, or whatever. He changed that one and implemented, changed it into a system and used a line, a production line, and he changed it. He changed the idea of cooking and made it a process. So he governed everything in the process and managed it in details and put standards and structures and systems to the level that wherever you eat a McDonald's in the world, it should give you the same taste. So this, they say this is another type of creativity, and they call it improve. So everything in the process, he changed it. So he said this is another type of creativity profile situation. People who have got this type of attitude, skills, they are also creative, but they are under this improve profile. Then they say incubate. Incubate is the last one, and this is basically long-term development. This is for the people who like to develop other people. They are very gentle, very nice, and they say this fits the people who work in the training and coaching or whatever. They are also, they have creativity. They are creative, but in the incubate profile. So these are 4 types of creativity. If we link them to what we have said about the people and the practice and the purpose, or the individual and the organization, department and organization, each one of these has got one type of these creativity profiles. It's very unlikely that they've got 2. They are maybe related, but very few have got this type. Otherwise, we all have one type of creativity. I should give you a hint here. If you are happy in your organization, in your work, it means that your creativity profile fits the creativity of the institution you're working in. If they are different, then you may face problems. We can go to that one. Okay. I leave this one for the future for you to review it while after seeing the presentation, because I don't want to go into the details. The time does not allow. Very frankly, we are seeing a very short part of this subject. Okay, these are the creativity profiles and the different profiles. So the imagine profile is suitable when you focus on innovation and growth. If the primary need is to create profits or produce fast responses, then growth profile or invest profile, and then improve profile when you seek organization and quality. When the goal is cultivate a community or build knowledge, then incubate profile. This basically shows us that no size, there's no one size to fit everything. So we are, as people, we have different talents, we have different creativity, and again, the organizations as well. And when the things change within the organization or even with our life, we should change our creativity capability or situation. But it gives, if you want to see the direction, then you should have the creativity map. This is how we start. We start with people, members, practice, and purpose. As I said, we can use IEEE as an example. People are members. The practice is the organizational units, and the purpose is IEEE. People limit themselves to their established notions of creativity using the approach that has worked for them in the past, or that is based on how they are most effective. Now, The summary is right people, right practice, we get the purpose, and then we need best practice and demands of the particular situation. Assessing your creativity situation, please go to these links. The first one, if you answer, there's some kind of template or questionnaire or form. If you fill it in, then all the directions are there, the instructions are there, and you can fill it. Once you finish it, you go to the second link and you can draw it on the diagram there. If you would like me to comment on that one, I'll be happy if you send it to me by email. Then I'll comment on your creativity profile by using these two forms, filling it and send it to me, and then I should say that there are, for each organizational unit or the practice or the purpose or the organization, there are creativity profiles, and we have sets of questionnaires that can assess them. This, I would like to focus on this and what it means before I finish and stop there and let you ask questions. The forces that define the purpose, okay, we have got external forces and we've got internal forces, okay. The innovation growth is technology, emerging markets. We said in the imagine profile to the right, innovation and growth. Then that's in the imagine. Then invest is in shareholders' demands, competitive pressures. This is where profit and speed. Then we have the improve in optimization quality. This is, as we said, quality standards, external regulations. Incubate demand for diverse people and capabilities, alignment with community. So in the incubate, you've got knowledge and community. In the improve, we got optimization, quality. And in the invest, we've got speed and profit. And with the imagine, we've got innovation and growth. In the innovation, be new. In the speed, in the invest, be first. Okay. In the improve, be better. In the incubate, be sustainable. So these are the concepts, and each one is different from the other. These are some of the external forces and the internal forces and their standing. We've got sets of questionnaires, okay, which we can use them to assess. I gave you an example of assessing your personal creativity profile with these two forms. We've got other forms to assess the practices, which is the organizational units, okay, or the departments, whatever, and then the purpose, which is the total organization. And then we can assess the three with these tools which we use and see how they match each other. If they don't match, then we have tools, other tools, to try to match them. And what this will help us with is basically setting strategies, very frankly, using creativity to move from current situation to future situation. So once you answer your own, once we assess your own personal creativity, we may see that you need to develop other creativity styles, and then we move to another assessment, and we say you should do this, that one. The book itself is very comprehensive, very frankly, and gives the details of these four situations of creativity and assess each department and the organization itself, and it helps to move from one type of creativity to another one. I think I should stop now and let the audience raise their questions. Thank you very much indeed, and I hope you've been able to follow, at least from sound and picture wise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor, for this great talk. It's really impressive. We as the PAA team, we are so happy of hosting you for the first webinar. You have been always like taking the lead and like being a motivation for us, that you always be the first in the initiative whenever we ask for help. So we are thanks for this. And of course, if any one of the audience have any question, please just open the mic, and the doctor is here to reply back to you. If not, we will finish in a few minutes. So let's open questions.
Thank you, Dr. حافظ.
MashaAllah.
Thank you very much for this nice lecture. Can I speak in Arabic or is not allowed?
Go ahead. حياك الله يا أبو زياد. دكتور طارق البلداوي كان مديري.
Of course, Dr. طارق
بالعمر لكن هو كان مديري. ما شاء الله تبارك الله يعني.
الله يسلمك دكتور حافظ، الله يبارك فيك.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله.
الله يسلمك، الله يبارك فيك. والله الحمد لله شفناك. المهم والمحاضرة رائعة جدا جدا، وتعلق بالإبداع بالعمل، ويعني أنت فصلت ما شاء الله ورحت ديب بالتفاصيل. وكان بودي دكتورنا العزيز أبو أحمد لو معطينا شوية مثلا أمثلة حقيقية على الإبداع في العمل وبعض التجارب الدول، بعض تجارب المؤسسات. يعني أنا مثلا تعجبني التجربة الماليزية، كيف استطاعوا أن ينهضون بالبلد نهضة شاملة وتتقدم وتصير نمر من النمور التجربة الماليزية. مثلا اشرح لنا شو المطلوب من عندنا من تعديل بقوانين حتى نجعل الناس تشتغل. انت تعرف الان الوطن العربي مر بأسوأ حالاته الان. شو المطلوب من القوانين ان تكون حتى يبدع العامل ينتج؟ ليش ما نلحق بركب الحضاره الغربيه؟ الان احنا متخلفين جدا تقريبا. كل الصناعات والاختراعات تجينا من برا واحنا قاعدين فقط نستورد. ليش؟ لانه عاملنا مهندسنا طبيبنا لا يبدع. صح ولا لا يا دكتورنا العزيز؟
بسم الله.
Merci جدا. Thank you, Dr. Tariq, for your question. It's time for the reply from the speaker.
Okay. Muhammad, is it allowed to speak in Arabic? To respond in Arabic? I think most of the audience, if not all of them, are Arabic speaking. Okay.
I think okay, no problem for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. حياك الله أبو زياد، جزاك الله خير وشكرا جزيلا. اللهم صل على رسول الله. الحقيقة السبب الرئيسي يا أبو زياد، الموضوع طويل. هذه هي ورشة عمل وليس محاضرة. الحقيقة ينبغي أن نطول تقريبا 3 أيام. اللهم صل على رسول الله. اللي نقص هنا بالمحاضرة هو الآتي. أنا قلت إنه يعني كأفراد ممكن أن نقيم نموذج الإبداع اللي عندنا أو الأسلوب الإبداعي اللي عندنا، لكن أيضا نذهب من هناك إلى جهة أعلى، الجهات اللي نعمل بها. فرضا أنت تشتغل في الجامعة، ممكن أن تدرس الجامعة بأي نمط إبداعي هي، نسميها أنماط، وبعدين تذهب إلى البلد ككل أو إلى الوزارة اللي هي أعلى من الجامعة تعرف النمط الإبداعي. إذا كان في انسجام بالأنماط الإبداعية هذه الثلاثة احنا ماشيين عدل، وإذا ما ماشيين يعني ما في انسجام صار. اللي بيصير الآتي، أنا ذكرت أنه في 4 أنماط إبداعية اللي هي يعني imagine وinvest وimprove وincubate. We said there is no one size fits all. اللي بتصير الآتي، وخصوصا بالنسبة لماليزيا، هم كانوا ماشيين بصراحة تقديري الشخصي إن هم كانوا شغالين بالimprove بروفايل من طبيعتهم الماليزيين. very slow improvement على شوي شوي والى اخره. من واجهتهم الازمه، النجاح الاساسي اللي صار عندهم هو انقلبوا من improve الى الاوبوزيت سايد اللي هو الاماجن. They came up with يعني creative ideas, new ideas completely, which are completely different. You see يعني improve and imagine profile, they are on opposite sides. There are of course tools. I didn't have time to say which tools you can use to move from here to here. زين لأن كل واحدة منهم لها tools. فهم I know I was involved يعني I know some of the Malaysians and what they did. They really went hard and they worked very hard on that one, and they used science. They brought the top scientists in the world in management in all aspects, and they studied it well, and they moved from that improved profile to the imagined profile. And then you move clockwise and you go to the invest profile. Once you decide upon the imagined profile, you go to the invest profile. It means that you've came up with your ideas, now you implement them very fast, very quick, very competent, and that's what they made. So they used the model very well indeed, and this is why they were successful. So this is part of what we're supposed to do, okay? This is one of the tools. Of course, there are other tools which you can use. However, I personally prefer this tool. This means creativity at work. This the work at Michigan University. There are other methods which you can use, but the time will not allow. Especially, we had another question.
دكتور حافظ.
تفضل بسمعك كويس.
Is there another part tomorrow or?
Oh no.
No.
The boss. I've got two bosses here. You are my ex-boss, and now my boss is Muhammad.
No, this was 36 years ago.
Okay, Allahumma salli ala Rasulillah. Muhammad is
Is there another part of this lecture tomorrow or no?
Muhammad.
Yes, doctor.
Dr. Tariq is asking you.
Actually, we only had the doctor today. It's only one day workshop, but
yes.
every Saturdays we have as a PEA a new speaker. So keep posted and know our session. We have the next session will be on 25th, Saturday 25th of July. It will be about how to manage people in crisis, like human resources, how to do human resources management during the crisis, because as we are all living the COVID-19 crisis. So we'll be talking about how to manage your resources, your team, if you are a business owner, what you should do. So have another speaker, Dr. Marwa. She's a PhD in the human resources, and she will be talking about.
This is a nice topic.
Yeah. So hopefully, if you would like to join us on 25th, join us.
Thank you very much.
I think we came to an end just in time, like 1 hour of a webinar as it was decided. So I would like to thank Dr. Hafiz for this great session. It was very informative, and thank you for all the participants for your time, and see you Saturday 25th for the next webinar. Have a nice evening, guys.
Thank you very much, Muhammad. Thank you very much indeed. Assalamu alaikum.